Hello, today we will be making the Nieman Marcus cookie recipe. The one that was in the newspaper and that was going around AOL on the early internet days. This is one of my favorite cookie recipes and I just so happened to find it when I was going through a box of old recipes. So let's make it again today. We need 2 cups of butter, 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 2 cups of sugar, 5 cups of blended oatmeal. That means we're putting the oatmeal into the blender and making it into a fine powder. 24 ounces of chocolate chips, 2 cups of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 8-ounce Hershey bar grated, 4 eggs, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 2 teaspoons vanilla, 3 cups chopped nuts of your choice. And we are going to measure the oatmeal and blend it in a blender into a fine powder. Cream butter and both sugars. Add eggs and vanilla. Mix in flour, oatmeal, salt, baking powder, and soda. Add chocolate chips, grated bar, and nuts. Roll into balls and place 2 inches apart. Then bake in the oven for 10 minutes at 375 degrees. It makes 112 cookies if you make them the right size. Well, this is going to be a lot of work. And so let's get started. First, we're going to use our grinder here and blend the oatmeal. We're going to need 5 cups. And this needs to be into a fine powder. This looks fine enough for me. Let's dump it into a bigger bowl. That takes care of our oatmeal. I thought I had 2 of these 1.5 cup bags of chopped nuts, but I don't. I don't know where the other one got to. So I'm gonna have to use these half cups and we'll only have 2.5 cups rather than the 3 cups. But these are halves, so I'm gonna need to grind them. Might have got these a little bit too fine. Oh well. We aren't stopping now. And I really do mean we aren't stopping now, because I'm not going to grate the chocolate. And I also don't have 8-ounce Hershey bars. I don't know where you would find an 8-ounce Hershey bar these days, but it's not at any store I've ever gone to. So we're gonna use 2 4-ounce semi-sweet Ghirardelli bars instead. We're gonna break these up and put them into the blender. And hopefully not make them that fine. It's fairly good. We have some big chunks. We're going to pull those out and grate it again. I think that's it for the grinder. All right, well, you can definitely see how this is going to make about 100 cookies. So we've barely gotten started, and I'm hoping that this is big enough. So here is our 2 cups of butter, which is 4 sticks, melted and ready to go. Now we need 2 cups of regular sugar. And 2 cups of brown sugar. We showed it who's boss. Or maybe we didn't. Holy shit. I don't know if this is all gonna fit. Now we add our 4 eggs and our vanilla. One teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now we need 4 cups of flour. A teaspoon of salt. Teaspoons baking powder, 2 teaspoons baking soda, all right, we are pretty full and we have that to add. We're going to see how much of it we can add into this bowl and hope that we don't have to get a bigger bowl. Clearly, we have to get a bigger bowl. That's why people have this recipe. I don't think this bowl is going to be big enough. I think that other bowl was 7 quart. This one is 12 quart. So this will definitely be big enough. I just don't really like using it. I'm pretty sure this is a 12 quart bowl, and it's very full. I don't know how I'm going to mix this, but I'm going to. All right, we still have to add our chocolate chips. Now it calls for 24 ounces, but as you can see, chocolate chips are no longer 22 ounce bags. They are, I know the numbers on here, 11.5 ounce. So we're using 2 11.5 ounce for 23 ounces. It is what it is at this point. I don't think I've ever made the full recipe. I think I've always done half. And I can see why. Because if this 12 quart bowl isn't big enough, you're going to be hard pressed to find one at home. I'm sure most of you don't have a 12 quart bowl at home. And this is pretty full. Well, that's probably about as good as it's going to get. And look how full it is. Let's start rolling these into balls. This is going to take forever. All right, we're preparing our cookie sheet. says we're supposed to space these 2 inches apart. Just gonna plop this down. I really don't care how big they are, for being honest. It's gonna take quite a while to get through all this. Well, that's as good as it's gonna get. In the oven it goes at 375 for about 10 minutes. We're just gonna have to keep rinsing and repeating this process till we get through all that batter. All right, it has been 10 minutes. And we are at 375. Look a little bit underdone, but I'm gonna take these out anyways and we'll see what exactly they look like when they cool off. Swap the top rack down to the middle rack. Those need another 2 minutes. And then we'll swap another one in. There we go. It's as good as it gets. Alright, so our cookies are out of the oven and they are cool. And as you can see, it made a lot of cookies. There are 76 cookies, baked about 10 to 11 minutes each. It took me about 3 hours. I started at about 4:30 and it is now about 7:30. A lot of that was prep and cleanup. But there was also a lot of baking time as each baking sheet needed 10 minutes and I could only fit 2 in my oven at the same time. So how are they? Were they worth the effort? They most definitely were. This recipe went viral back in the late 90s, early 2000s for a reason. And that's because it's a very good cookie. It's a very, very good cookie. I would definitely have the recipe if it was for myself or my family. But I don't have a family and I don't have friends, so I can't invite friends to come over and eat cookies either. So, you know, here we are. This is just what it is. Luckily, I'm a fat boy and I could eat all these cookies by myself. So, I think that's just what I'll do. Very nice, very moist cookie. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you make this recipe for yourself. It really was a popular recipe because it's a really popular recipe because it is very good. And definitely worth making. I'm gonna have a lot to edit here. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thanks for watching.